this space out for his ASMR videos. He lives in a much quieter part of Brooklyn, so we'll see what happens. He actually has, I'll show you, a really nice view here of the water. So his neighborhood is a little bit nicer than mine. So yeah. So today, like I said, I'm going to be trying out a new type of video. I might make it into a series if you guys really like it. Maybe I'm thinking like a Foodie Friday type of thing, where I tell you a bit about the food culture of a certain place, and then we cook something together. So today, I'm going to be reading you something that I wrote about Italian olive oil, which is a very important part of the culture in Italy. I was in Tuscany when I was inspired to write this piece, and then we'll be cooking a dish together that involves olive oil. I also just wanted to show you something random that I got at a conference. I just really like it. I like the sound. It's a microfiber screen cleaner, and you kind of just rub it on your like iPhone screen. But I love the noise. It's very soothing to me. I haven't opened it. I don't even know if I actually like the screen cleaner itself or just the baggie. So, like I said, today I'm going to be telling you about olive oil, Italian olive oil. I'll be telling you myths about olive oil and purchasing olive oil and cooking with olive oil, so that you can be better informed about olive oil and can learn a bit about the culture of Italy. I really love this bottle. I visited this place, Castelfalvi in Tuscany, and that's where I got this bottle of olive oil. Okay, so let me start telling you a bit about olive oil. I'm going to be reading from my iPad. Yes, okay. I think I might have just looked something. Okay. Let me see if I can show you the photos bit. If you can see that. So, we're going to be debunking myths about olive oil. Olive oil is a super ingredient with the ability to enhance the flavors of a dish while also adding antioxidants and heart-healthy benefits. That being said, there are many misconceptions that exist on the product. That's why, with the help of agronomist Marco Soldani of Castelfalvi and agronomist Francesco Caselli of Castello di Gabbiano, we're going to debunk some of olive oil's most common misconceptions. Originally, extra virgin olive oil was the only oil used to fry because it is the best oil to do what it says so, Tony. It has a high melting point and is rich in omega-3. Castello di Gabbiano's Francesco Caselli adds, extra virgin olive oil contains more aromatic compounds that help to enhance the flavor of the dishes. The extra virgin olive oil is the most healthy fat, and it is very versatile as it can be used both in raw and cooked food. It also has the higher degree of resistance to degradation of the heat, which means frying does not produce toxic substances. The only reason one might not want to cook with extra virgin olive oil is because there are cheaper oil options one can use for frying, like vegetable oil and canola oil. And with that, you can save the high quality olive oil to maybe dress your salad or to put on top of a dish. Not all extra virgin olive oils are created equal. Many consumers purchase olive oil without really knowing what they're buying, when in fact there exist many different qualities of olive oil. The highest quality of olive oil is extra virgin olive oil. By definition, extra virgin olive oil, it must meet very strict requirements, like being extracted at 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit, and within 24 hours of picking. The oil must be obtained by mechanical cold pressing without the addition of solvents during the first pressing of the olives and bottled immediately. An olive oil produced after the first mechanical extraction undergoes further physicochemical treatments, causing it to lose quality. This means that if you buy an olive oil of a lower quality than extra virgin, your product may be low in vitamin E and antioxidants, can have a higher acidity, and it may even cause some digestive problems. That being said, some olive oil producers offer a higher label to distinguish an even more valuable type of extra virgin olive oil. For example, Castelfalfi offers a premium label, which means the olives were pressed during the first 12 hours after picking, because the time span between picking and pressing the olives directly correlates to the quality of the oil. Okay, let's go to number 3. Pure olive oil isn't really pure. A grade below extra virgin olive oil is virgin olive oil made through the same process as extra virgin but with riper olives. Below that, you get pure olive oil, which is frankly a very misleading name. Pure olive oil refers to a blend of refined and virgin olive oils, meaning you're getting a lower quality of olive oil with many of the antioxidants potentially missing. For this reason, if you're going to buy that type of oil, just use it for frying, not dressing your salads or dipping your bread. Low acidity is important when it comes to olive oil. This is number 4. So, let me show you some food. A little bit of visual for you. I might have skipped another photo too. Yes. They're picking the olives. When choosing an olive oil, you want to make sure it has a low acidity. A low acidity is associated with higher quality, which leads to a more pleasant taste. Moreover, a low acidity typically means the producer pressed the olives shortly after picking, crucial for high quality olive oil. Not all olive oil comes from Italy, number 5. While it's true Italy produces some of the highest quality olive oil, not to mention it's the highest exporter of the product, there are other countries that are also making really high quality olive oils. Some of these include Spain, California, Turkey, Greece, Portugal, and Morocco. 6. It's much more than squeezing oil from the fruit. And you can actually see, I took that photo when I visited the farm of, that's the scale they used to weigh the olives. So, all production begins by transforming the olive fruit into olive paste by crushing and pressing. This paste is then relaxed, slowly churned or mixed to allow the microscopic oil droplets to agglomerate. The oil is then separated from the watery matter and fruit pulp with the use of a press, traditional method, or centrifugation, which is the modern method. Okay, 7, and this is very, very important, and I'm going to show you a visual of this. Light destroys olive oil. So, have you ever wondered why, when you buy olive oil, many times it comes in that dark green bottle, like the one I just showed you? It's because light destroys olive oil through oxidation, changing the beneficial chemical compounds and exchanging antioxidants for free radicals. Keep olive oil out of light and make sure you only buy it in a dark bottle. Just also know too that you shouldn't be keeping olive oil in the refrigerator. The condensation can dilute and spoil the olive oil. So a room temperature cabinet is your best bet, and I'll show you an example right now of what I mean by the colored bottles. So you can see here we have the clear bottle of olive oil. This means that the olive oil is more likely to spoil and go bad. This light is able to penetrate through this glass. Instead, you should be getting the dark green bottle, like the one I showed you. Kind of protects it from getting oxidized by the light. So, just wanted to show you an example so you know what to purchase when you go to the grocery store, or even better if you go to the local producer and get it straight from who made it. Okay. So now, 8. Vintage is a term used for both wines and olive oil. While vintage is a term used for both those products, it's important to realize that there is a big difference. Olive oil does not get better with age. Caselli gave me a quote, and he said the aging process begins right after the olives are pressed. The olive oil changes immediately from organoleptic point of view in its color in the first 4 to 8 weeks of its life. While by law, producers must state on a label a 2-year expiration date, it gets confusing because it will also say the product does not degrade, and that although it will be less tasty when it's older, it can still be used for cooking. When purchasing olive oil, just know you really want to get the youngest olive oil possible, and use the bottle in a timely manner. Also know, number 9, that only a small portion of olive gets used for oil. When making olive oil, only 10% of the olive gets into the product, with the other 90% being waste that typically gets added to fertilizer. To understand these numbers, it's important to look at how the olive press works. The machine will first press the olives, reducing them to paste, as we said before. From there, the solids and the liquids are separated and centrifuged to press out, or centrifuged or pressed to separate the water from the oil. And this is sort of a good visual for you. Okay. Number 10, cold extraction is great for flavor. Cold extraction is a term that gets thrown around quite a bit, and although many are still confused about what it means, the term refers to a particular extraction technique where the temperature remains under 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius during the pressing process. enhance the flavor and aroma of the olive oil. Don't change. As we said, higher temperatures can degrade the olive oil, as can putting it in the refrigerator and having it super cold. Most extra virgin olive oil is made by a cold process. This is because higher temperatures may make the extraction easier, which means some producers will go this route, but it does not guarantee to keep the quality of the olives and the characteristics, the terroir. Number 11, you can't judge by the label if it's good olive oil. While there is a lot of information on a bottle of olive oil, it's impossible to know just from that whether it's a good product or not. To be sure, you'll either need to taste the olive oil for yourself or contact the producer to ask about their techniques for production. The quicker the olives were pressed after being picked, the better. And if a label lists numerous countries, there's a good chance the olives were picked somewhere other than where they were packaged, meaning lower quality. Ask when the harvest date was, if it contains additives, and where exactly it was harvested and bottled. 12. I didn't realize this list was so long. Your extra virgin olive oil may not actually be extra virgin. It's sad to say, but low quality olive oils are something manipulated using food coloring and sold as extra virgin, meaning you lose the health and beauty benefits as well as the great taste. So how can you stop that from happening? Get in touch directly with the olive oil producer. That's your best bet. If possible, one should go straight to the farm to buy their olive oil, especially since visiting a mill that produces olive oil allows you to see firsthand exactly what you're getting. I love that I took this photo of cooking with olive oil during a cooking class at Castello di Gabbiano. That olive oil from Italy may not be Italian. Again, this is where you can judge an olive oil by its label. You need to taste it and talk to the producer, because many olive oil makers will have their product packaged or bottled in Italy just to get the Italy seal. And finally, olive oil is essentially a fruit juice. So olives are fruit, and olive oil is that fruit's juice. Juice is never better than when it's fresh squeezed and drank right after production. The same goes for olive oil. Keep this in mind when you look for your perfect olive oil. So, as I said, we're going to be making a dish together. Now, I got this recipe that I modified from the Food Network, and it says we'll need 1 pound of dried spaghetti, which I'm not making a pound of pasta right now for myself, so modifying that. A half cup extra virgin olive oil, 3 garlic cloves, peeled, 1 tablespoon of red pepper flakes, 1/4 cup chopped Italian, if you like parsley, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh basil leaves, and 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh mint leaves. So I use that as a base for my inspiration, but we're just doing it a little bit differently. So nice fresh tomatoes. I don't have red pepper flakes in my, well, he doesn't have it in his cabinet, so I'm using just ground red pepper. I might add a little bit of black pepper. I like doing that. And some garlic. And I also got some fresh basil, which is so tasty. I have a friend who grows his own basil, and I really want to start enjoying it. It smells so good. See, it's nice and fresh. And then, of course, we have our extra virgin olive oil, most important ingredient, and some whole wheat pasta. I like this kind of noodle, personally. These kind of proteiny noodles, I think. So, cooking up some of that. Just wanted to give you a nice visual of our pasta boiling. I also really love that sound. The noodles boiling. Alright, so I'm gonna start working with these ingredients here. Got a tomato. I'm going to cut up. Now, this wasn't in the original recipe, but I just really love tomatoes and really like to add some. Also, I have no idea where he keeps cutting boards, so I am using a plate. Let me also tell you that I am not a cook. I think it's fun, but I'm not really any good at it, so anyone who's a chef right now is probably like horrified by the way I'm cutting these tomatoes. But yeah, I'm not. I'll eat some of this. Tomatoes are my favorite vegetable. So tasty and, well, I guess technically they're a fruit, because fruits have seeds and tomatoes have seeds, so. See? End up eating. So tasty. Okay. I actually think my boyfriend doesn't like tomatoes, but too bad. I'll finish cutting this up in a moment. We've also got to peel some of this garlic. Not gonna lie, this is my first time peeling garlic. Well, I'm sure that I've used garlic in cooking classes because I do enjoy the cooking classes, but I'm honestly not 100% sure that I'm doing this in the best way. But I really like the sound, so. Okay, I can starting to see some of this garlic. Yum. Really love garlic. Really adds so much flavor to many different dishes. Break this up. Probably not going to use all of this garlic because I just made, enough pasta for one person. My boyfriend had to go to his parents' house for a little while, and I had to get some work done. So actually found the cutting board, and I'm going to cut up some garlic for the dish. Now I'm gonna be cutting this a little bit funny because I don't want to make a loud tapping noise. That might be disruptive on the cutting board with the knife, but I want you to be able to hear this nice sound of the garlic skin being peeled. For me, that's a very nice sound. So what I actually might do is just peel it and then chop it up off camera so that I don't disrupt anybody's relaxation. I absolutely love the smell of garlic and the flavor, but it's very enjoyable for me to cut it up and be able to smell it. So, because I'm modifying the recipe, I'm not 100% sure how much garlic to put in it, but I'm thinking maybe more is better than less since I really love garlic. Another shallot. Love that sound. Nice and close. Let you really hear that sound. Some of this garlic skins. Cut up some garlic, and then we are going to saute this in our olive oil that we've been talking about in this video. So, okay, so I'm now sauteing this garlic, and the point is to keep it on very low heat while you do it. You don't want it to brown or burn. So I'll get a little close and show you what it looks like. Nice. I love that sound. Things sauteing and a little hard to focus on. Trying to not brown it, but just saute it. Now I also want to add in some tomatoes. Got a little bit of tomato in there too, and I know these are very big chunks, but I actually really love big chunks of tomato, so. Can already tell this is going to be a very heart healthy meal with lots of health benefits. The tomato, the garlic, the basil, the olive oil. And personally, the crackling of the saute is a really nice sound for me. So now we have our finished pasta, and I just need to add the fresh basil. Got our basil leaves, and I'm just gonna pull off a few leaves and top the pasta with it. When I was younger, my family used to grow our own basil. And so nice being able to just go get it and not have to go buy it. Okay, got our basil. I'm also going to top the dish with some red pepper. Now, if you're going to make this at home, the red pepper flakes are usually a better idea, but I have to settle for this right now. Give it a little spice. Okay. Well,